So I've decided to cheat on my bullet journal. Don't tell anyone. It's a pretty big deal. I'm still going to be using my bullet journal, so don't panic. I'm still going to be setting up my spreads. I'm still going to be using it for my day-to-day journal. But lately I've had a lot of projects going on, and having them in the same bullet journal as my daily spreads kind of isn't working because I need to go backwards and forwards with them a lot. Loads of different kind of work related projects really, but a few home projects too. And I kind of feel like having a ring bound journal will work better for this. And I have this gorgeous A5 leather Finsbury Filofax, which I've had forever. It was probably my first planner love. It is a bit beaten up, but that kind of makes me love it even more. And what I'm thinking is turning my Filofax into kind of like my project zone, organization center, the thing that I take with me that I use for anything project related. And then I can add pages in and move things around and come back to things like weeks later. What I have been doing instead of using my journal for this, I've actually just got like I found this in the cupboard, a Packer pad with tabs that I was using, that just I had by my sofa, so that when I come up with an idea, I could just like scribble it down and I didn't feel the need to make it neat and tidy, which I kind of do when I'm setting up a project in my journal. So this is what I have been doing, but I want to make something a bit more permanent, and I also want to take advantage of all the great hybrid planner stuff that we've got. So I'm going to grab my hybrid planner stash and turn my Finsbury Filofax into my project organizer. Let's take a look inside the Filofax now. I haven't used this for a couple of years, so it's pretty out of date. The last calendar I put in it was 2021, and I pretty much haven't used it. My idea at the time was that it was going to be easier to future plan for the business in a ring bound planner. But I think because I was still using my bullet journal, because it still works for me for kind of daily to-do lists and stuff, I wasn't really using it enough that I wasn't getting the book out enough so that nothing actually got put in there. So what I'm going to do is take out those pages because they clearly are out of date and don't work. There will be some bits that I can save. So let's save the divider pages. They're gone. Let's hold on to those. These are random to-do lists, which will probably work for stuff. I mean, God, this was back from when I was organising Time to Bloom, the subscription box. So those of you that have been around for a while will know or remember that one. Let's see if any of these are any good. They're all good. That's another one of those. That's me thinking about, this is like a blast from the past, you guys. Let's get rid of all the pages that have been written on. Theme ideas for the mini one, which included Beach Hut and Under the Sea, which we've done. Gnomes. I mean, I think we went off on a bit of a tangent with the old gonks. Russian dolls. I still think that would be a great theme idea. Gingerbread we did. Cherry Blossom we did as a big one. Yeah. Let's get rid of those that have been written on. This is when we were launching Daisy Doodles. Get rid of those. I am holding on to the pages that are still usable. Don't worry, I'm not just dumping everything. I want to set it up and organise it afresh. That's all. That. Oh, look. It's an old school laminate stencil. If you've been around for a while, you'll remember these. But this is how Ups a Daisy started. The laminate stencil. It was the only thing that I could figure out how to make it hardy enough to work as a stencil, but also gentle enough on your pen. So we went with this like laminated card, but obviously having something see-through makes things a lot easier, but I'm going to keep that. And then I've got washi tape list. How much washi did we order? 2,000 units. Wowza. I mean, I think all of that can go. Okay, start afresh. This pocket is handy, so we're going to hold on to that. Who knows what's in there, in here. I think we're good. I think this is... So, empty, open planner. And then I've got all of my hybrid stuff in last year's 12 Days of Planning box. We are doing the same box this year, the same style of box, different colour, different motif, but the same style of box. And they're really handy because you can use them for things like this. So I am going to have a cover. I brought this home with me yesterday. So I'm going to put this coffee. First I drink the coffee, then I do the things as my dashboard. And then I thought I would use these monochrome dividers. I've got a bunch of paper. It's all just dotted paper. So I'm going to start with that for now. And I am going to grab something else out in a minute. And what I want to do is turn the first page of this divider into a kind of control center for my projects. So I can stick them all on little post-it notes. Pop the paper in the back for now. I have this in as well. And I might put these in as well, because these are still good. A second set of organisers. I think these were from Amazon. Come back to that stuff in a minute. Okay, so with everything in there in terms of paper, I'm going to add in a couple of my go-to stencils. So I think the font that I'm going to use for this book is going to be Blossom. And then I'm going to add in my MVP stencil, which is basically an polypropylene clear cut version of this. And the really good thing of using a ring binder is that you can add your stencils in to the rings. So I'm going to do that. Let's move that one aside. So these will be my stencils that come with me on the go. Put them at the back. So now we're going to get to creating our project organisation system. So I'm going to start off by creating a control center to go at the very front of the ring binder. That's going to be where I add in any tasks I'm working on at present for all of the different projects. So it's going to be a control center for everything that's in that Filofax. I'm going to split it into different segments so that I can take the tasks and place them into hold if I'm waiting for someone else to do something, place them into maybe it's what I'm currently working on or something that I'm saving for later, just so that I know what the next step is in each of the different phases. I'm splitting the page into 4, just so that I've got those different hold areas. And I'm going to be using little post-it notes to write down all of the individual tasks within my project so that I can move them from the main project section into the control center. I'm then going to set up a smaller control center for each individual project that I'm working on. So the first project is our Journal 101, which is going to be a 7-day set up your journal with me for 2024. And it's also going to be something that we're going to have long-term on the website as kind of archived resource that you can sign up to at any point. So I want it to be evergreen content as well as something that we can do all together towards the end of 2023. So what I'm doing in this project section is writing down the aims of what I want to achieve for this project, and also how I'm going to achieve that, just to really clarify it in my mind. I think it's useful to do because it's really easy to get sidetracked into the details of something without really sticking to your main reasons of why you're working on something. The next section that I want to create is a page for me to record the steps I need to take in order to achieve this project. So I'm going to start off by just the initial steps. It can be something that I can go through and literally write out step by step every single thing that needs to get done. But just in order to get this section started for this project, I'm writing out the first 3 things that I need to do to move it forward. And then once I've got those written out, I've written the project name on the bottom of the post-it note so that when I move those then into the main control panel at the front of the journal, I will know what project it's come from. I have got a plan to order some of those little post-it notes in different colours so that each individual project will have a different coloured post-it note, which will make it a lot easier from the control centre to be able to see what step goes to what project. And if you check out the link in the description, I have linked in our Amazon recommendations link what post-it notes I've got. So if you want to grab some as well, you can go ahead and do that. I'm now going into my second project, which is to organise my spare room. I've decided that I've made some steps in the right direction, but I want to do better at really separating work from home when I'm at working from home because I find it too easy to sit on the sofa to do laptop work, which is no good for my back, and it also means that there's no clear start and end to my working day. So I want to create a space in my spare room. I've already got my recording desk up there where I do all of my filming and all of my journal setups, but I want to have a separate section where I can have my computer set up, have a screen so that I've got everything ready to go when I'm working from home and I don't just sit downstairs. So I've done exactly the same as I did in the previous project, where I've written out the aims of the project, how I'm going to do it, and what those first steps are in order for me to get going, so that I can then move that over into my main control panel. I then decided that I wanted to make a contents page so that I knew what section of the Filofax was for what project. So I'm using the grid guide just to split up the dot grid page into 6 sections. What's good with our dot grid paper is it's exactly the same layout as that in our journals. There's the centre marks and the side centre marks, so it makes for really easy setups. You can use all the stencils exactly the same as you could with our journals, but it's just loose leaf and hole punch for a 6-ring folder. So I've split that page into 6 boxes, and I'm just adding 1 to 6 down the side using the same Blossom font. And then I'm going to add in what each section is. So for the first section, I am going to have brainstorming pages. This is going to be really useful because I find that I come up with a lot of ideas. The team will tell you I'm forever going, what about if we did this? Or what about if we did this? And not all of them are relevant to right now, but it would be great to have a place to record them all. So I'm just going to have a really rough ideas page where I can basically scribble down ideas and flesh them out as I have them, and then come back to them when we've got time to do them. So for this example, I'm writing down that I'd really like to make a goal planner with undated pages in a wire-bound format. I'd also really like to write a book, and this has been something that's been on my mind for a while, with kind of the oops-a-daisy approach to bullet journaling, some page examples, that kind of thing. That's a big old project, so it's definitely been on my mind for a while and just haven't got round to it. The second section of my project book is going to be a content planner, so somewhere that I can record all the ideas for different videos that I want to create for YouTube or for Instagram, TikTok, that kind of thing. I've also added in some of our pre-printed hybrid planner pages with a month overview so that I can sketch out what a month will look like on our social media platforms. So I'm just writing in some ideas there. And then the third and the fourth tabs in those dividers are going to be the 2 projects that I've already outlined, with room to add in more after that as more projects come up. I've got a lot more that I already need to lay out, but I won't force you to watch me setting them up in the journal. So I've done some setting up and I think she's ready to go. Look how pretty she is. The other thing that I really like about using this sort of journal is I don't feel like I need to finish spreads, because I don't need to like be sure of how much space I need. So what I've gone through, I've got my dashboard, got my control center, and then I've done like a contents page so I know what is in each of these tabs. First section is literally just going to be about brainstorming ideas. So I've got 1 page in there at the moment, but as I think of things, I can like scribble notes down and it can go in there. The second is my YouTube ideas and content planner. I've used a pre-printed insert for this, so I'm going to do like my August setups, plan out when I want to publish and what's going on. I can add in things about shorts as well, use it as a whole content planner. So that's that vibe. Next section is the Journal 101 project. So I've just outlined my aims, how I'm going to do it, and then started with the initial steps of what I need to get done. I've moved this one to my control center because it's what I'm working on right now. And then my next project is sorting out the spare room. So again, my aims, how am I going to do it, and initial steps. And I can move that to the control center, and then more projects can add it in as I want them. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this setup, and it works really nicely with my traditional journal. So I will still, of course, be using this one. This is where I've been putting these things for now. So I can move those over into my project book and focus this on like individual tasks and productivity, and also kind of what's going on a day-to-day basis. And then the bigger thinking stuff can go in my Finsbury. So I'm actually going to be going out with both of these guys at the same time. Double dating or triple dating. I hope you've enjoyed this little something different from Ipsidaisy. If you have, pop in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you have multiple journals going on at the same time? Do you use different sorts of journals? So Filofax versus hardbound journal, or are you a strictly one journal at a time sort of person? Let me know, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to see you coming back for more content that we will be creating very soon. Take care. Bye bye bye.